Very good, very good. Sorry, viewers, I was just talking to Leroy about my dog needing a haircut and like a sheep.
Look at him, can't even see.
He can't even see. But we can't find a hairdresser, to be fair.
No?
Who's that? Who's that?
There's one at the end of my road. It's called Hair Off the Dog.
Very good, very good. Talking about hair of the dog, cheers. Good evening, and how has your start to the week been?
Cheers. It's good. I don't know about you, but I was pretty damn tired on Monday.
Absolutely ruined. Yeah, I felt broken. I had a bit of a day of it as well because make hay while the sun shines, all that sort of good stuff. The weather was nice, so we wanted to get back out at it with our cheeky little concept car that we were running at the weekend. So I had to make the most of that and try a few ideas. By the time the evening came round, I couldn't operate anymore, hence us being here tonight. So sorry for missing the Monday. Again, all down to me. But we're here slightly more refreshed and looking forward to going over the last race that we've just done a little bit later in the show. We've got something new just popped up on the screen. What's that? Okay, this is getting good. The back end of this is getting a bit more clever. I can see some of the comments a bit clearer. That's cool. First time I've seen that. So we're going to try and hook up with Billy T, our own Billy T from Texas, who is busy building a cool track for an RC Pro Series race this weekend over at Nemo HQ in America. And he's also going to run through, hopefully, the Southern Nats race, because we had our National this weekend, but also there was a really big race going on called the Southern Nationals in America. So we're going to get him on the show a little bit later on. So anyway, I can't remember whether we got clarity. Was that Pepsi you were drinking or red wine?
This is red wine.
Ooh. And tell us all about it.
Yeah, I think it's the Yellowtail one. You've probably had it before, Yellowtail.
Yeah. Nice, good.
It's very
middle
nice.
Of the road.
Yeah, middle of the road, nice and sweet. You don't, you can just drink it off the bat. Yeah. It's good. It's nice.
It's good. Not a fortune, an easy drinker, as they say.
An easy drinker, and it was donated from a good friend, Matt Bentley, who I don't know if he's watching, but yeah, lovely guy. And did a little day with him down at Swindon before their track closed, and he gave me a couple of bottles of wine. So this is one of them.
Very nice. Very nice. And so when you say track close, is that closed because they're going somewhere else, or what's going on there?
Yeah, so Swindon, they probably about a month and a half ago now, they closed their doors for the last time at the current venue, which is one you know well as well, for the 8 scale track.
Yeah.
And they got kicked off the site basically from the council. They want to build on it, plus like do some kind of BMX track on it or something like that. So they got a new venue which they're currently getting ready. Yeah, I mean, it looks nice. I haven't been down there yet, but I'm excited for when it's finished so I can go down and have a play. But it's only going to be 10th scale.
I was going to say, is it just going to be for 10th scale or 8th scale too? So
yeah, just 10th. Wow. It's a lot smaller than the last venue. It's just the size of one track.
Yeah.
But I think it's enclosed, a bit like the last one with fences and stuff. So it should be nice and secure.
Nice, sounds good. You have to give us a live from when you go there when it's all opened up. Shall we do a few stats from the side before we move on to our races?
It would be a crime not to, wouldn't it? Let's start, and you can guess who number 1 spot is today. Which one is TQ?
Dave Rolls.
Davey Rolls. He says, "Evening, guys." So evening to him. Well done on TQ. You are consistently round by round at the top.
He is. Come rain or shine, he's there.
He is. Elise is online. She says, "Good evening, guys." From Elise, Kevin, Claire, and Morgan. So Morgan has joined him tonight, which is great. And I had to give Elise lessons on how to make coffee at the weekend.
Well, she always makes mine very, very well. And very big thank you to Elise and to Claire, as ever, for helping us over the weekend, running the show.
Thank you very much. Hopefully the coffee skills are slightly improved, although I think, she was still probably feeling it from the Friday night that she had.
Yeah, I think she had a bit of a rough one. And she was very good at making sure I had a Desperado, so I'm not too worried about the Desperados were coming.
Martin Hart, he's online. Action Man says, "Good evening from your favourite Last Minute Sparky."
He is a favourite Last Minute Sparky. And again, another thank you that we need to give for making sure we've got all the relevant power we needed on the rostrum for our referee and TV screens and all that sort of stuff. So thank you very much, buddy, as ever.
Thank you, sir. Talking dirty, and Ross Online says hello, you, and he says, "What a day! What a day, mummy!
What a day, and what a man I missed. Needed that man with us at the weekend. It's a shame to see that Roscoe's not there, but I think they were out enjoying their real ones, which I can understand. Always takes preference.
Definitely. Sveners, he's online. He says, "Evening all, goatee Sveners."
Sveners.
And Harry Weymouth. Harry Weymouth is online. He says, "Evening, chaps." So evening, Harry.
Good evening. Good evening. Nice to see you online. Well done for your first national as well. I think you did a very good job, and hope you and the family get to come and do lots more of the races next year.
Yep, indeed. Robert Glenn's online says, "What's up, fellas? Been a while. I'm enjoying some vacation." And his comment is on my screen permanently. Is it on yours permanently?
It is. This is a new feature, which is lovely. There we go. I've just found out how to take that away. Perfect.
Oh. It's cool if it was a keep updating rather than keeping the same.
Yeah. Well, let's see what we can do. I've got some extra buttons here that I need to learn, so I'll be doing that as we're going through it.
Sweet. Homeboy RC is online. Good evening, chaps.
Good evening. Hope you're feeling well and refreshed. Missed you at the weekend.
We did. Mr. Stenhouse is online this evening, guys. Amazing weekend, and thank you.
Thank you, sir, and also well done to you guys as well. Caden coming on strong like all these juniors are. Quite incredible to watch their rate of progress. So congratulations to you.
Yep, well done, guys. And then Marcus Butler's online says, "Hey guys, sneaking a look while he's working."
Nice. That's the right way.
That is the right way. Olivia Sedan is online. Probably said that wrong.
Yeah.
He said hello, guys.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing those guys. Miss all of our French team very much. Normally we get our fix by going to Montpellier, and then we often try and fit in a race towards the end of the year with the guys as well. Particular favourite of mine being the Soucy B track when they've had various races going on there. And there might be a sneaky chance that we might get there in November. We're trying to see if we can work out going to a 6-mix race, which would be pretty cool to see everybody again.
Yes, it would. So keep an eye on that one for when we announce if we can go or not. Lyndon Hammer, yep. He's online. Lyndon and Jane. Evening, what a grand weekend. Hope all is good with you all. And it is, and I hope all is fantastic with you as well, sir.
Absolutely. Got back home safe, and embarrassingly, I have to say massive thank yous to you every single time, because yourself and Jane and Ben give up so much of your time to help us put the shows on. So a heartfelt thank you very much for all of that once again. When I got in on Monday morning, the guys had already been litter picking all of the camping field and the pit area. Bags of rubbish were in Don's car, and he was cruising around just completely over and above what you'd expect of anybody. So awesome.
Yeah, he's a proper legend. One of the best.
Indeed.
Mr. Lil Chili says hello, guys.
Good evening.
Simon Miller says evening, fellas. Yaz Mughal says evening, guys.
Yeah, anyway, is up. Yaz, come back up to Nima Raceway. We need to see you. I haven't seen you for ages.
He'll be coming down soon because he's moving to Loughborough University, isn't he?
So I hear. Very good. Very clever, and man's got his head switched on. So screwed on.
Ben Johnson, another one of our big thank you guys, says hi all. Thanks for an epic weekend, Nemo team.
Pleasure, mate. I'm glad you had a good one. You look good out on the track. You look good yesterday when you were doing some testing and stuff as well. And I hope everything went well with the dogs today.
The dags. Yeah. Jonathan C is online. He says evening.
JC, what a man.
JC, if you're bored tomorrow, you're welcome to come up and have a look at something.
Yes.
Deep Set Designs says evening all. Great weekend at Nemo. Thanks very much. Craig Gamble. So thanks, Craig.
Awesome. Good to see you there, buddy.
Jonesy Cram, another legendary status family, says great event of the weekend. Glad we could help out.
And once again, we couldn't have done the show without the Jonesy family. Me personally, obviously, Popper mechanicked the concept car for us all weekend, which is absolutely superb. I can't think of anybody better to have been doing that for us. Really enjoyed working with him on that. And moreover than that, getting the track to the position that it was, with profiling of jumps. You know, when we were building it, Mark was there with us, making sure that that was all working and doing the back jump. In fact, Mark rolled the back jump, which ran better than it ever has. So awesome all round. Millie, his daughter, came and did scrutineering for us as well with Mark's mum. So a massive thank you to both. And all our thoughts and wishes and everything else with Lou. Hope he's feeling good. I did see a little cheeky post from him earlier on, which sounded a bit more positive. So hoping that's all progressing in the right way.
Yes, me too. Me too. Get well soon, Lewis. We need you.
We do.
Nick Simpson's online. Says, evening, boys. What a weekend. What a weekend, Simo.
Yeah, again, Mr. Simpson, probably one of his best nationals in many a year. Did very well. I think he was into the 8th, I think, 16th or 8th. Like I said earlier on with Svenners was in the quarterfinals, which was epic. A long time since I've seen Svenners quarters. So we had lots of really good team performances, which is great.
Yeah, it was totally awesome. Martin Walters online. Says, evening, all.
Good evening.
And Olivia says we would love to be seeing us at the Six Mick Cup, so we're going to try and make that happen.
We definitely are. Have some red wine.
Yes, exactly, and some baguettes, obviously. David Bonham's online. He says, "Hey all, it was nice to finally try the track. Just a shame about the rain, but a fun way to round up the 2021 Nationals." Yep,
cool. We did get unlucky, and some of the guys got more unlucky. The lower finals on the finals day with the rain. So sorry about that. That was a bit of a pain. But come back and have a go in the dry as well.
Elise says, Lee, we are 7 minutes behind, and I was definitely suffering. But the coffee was down to myself being picky, apparently. Although her friend, and I don't know your friend's name, Elise, I'm sorry, made a much nicer coffee than Elise did.
Oh my God.
We were obviously having a bit of banter about it, but Elise, you can make me a coffee anytime. I'll always appreciate it. Says, John, you're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Andy B says, Tuesday night, ? I used to go out with a girl. Here we go. I used to go out with a girl whose left eye was missing. She was a right looker. Yeah, I like that one. That's good.
Very good. Very good.
And thanks for a great track at the weekend. Shame it rained for my final. And then Michael Shorey is online. He says, evening all, and that rounds up
everybody.
Comments.
Mikey, we need to give you much love, as we always do. I actually thought, as I saw you going around for I think it must have been one of your practice runs. I can't remember who I stood with now. And I said, it must be a bit weird to have built this thing and then finally be getting to drive it. Because you spent 2 weeks doing the full refresh for us and reprofiling everything. Didn't have a chance to turn a wheel on it until the actual race itself. So yeah, it was pretty cool to see you cruising around, and then when you came off, you said, "Oh, it's just really great fun to drive." That was a cool moment. One of my highlights of the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. What a legend on that digger, and doing everything else.
Yeah,
Top
absolutely.
Man.
Yeah, man.
So yeah.
Caught up on the Leroy shout out. It's probably going to be one of the last Leroy shout outs for a while. I don't know what format we're going to take with the show as we move forward. We're definitely going to be doing something because we've enjoyed doing it, and as long as we've got people that want to watch it, we'll keep doing something. But yeah, such a weird feeling to think that the season's now actually come to an end. I know you've got a soon to come, and there's going to be some club racing, and we're going to have some Nemo races, but the National Series, that intensity is definitely just about to be foot off the accelerator. Which is going to be weird. It's going to feel a bit more like the mini lockdowns that we were doing these in, a year ago or whatever it was.
Yeah, definitely a strange feeling. I mean, it's definitely felt very busy. A lot's been compacted into a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And it's always been weekends, hasn't it? There hasn't been any Sunday races as such. So
yeah,
it's kind of sad that it's come to an end, the National Series for this year, but also means now's the time we start working for next year and getting the club racing, which is always good fun, and supporting all of the clubs around the UK.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to just a little bit of a mini break to recharge the batteries just slightly. But yeah, I'm sure we'll be We're always busy at the end of the day. Even when the season ends, we'll be finding it with places to go. There's already discussions this weekend about, oh, should we go to Westmill or not? Because I know they've got a club round on.
Right.
We're about to announce our Saturday series as well. So we're going to be doing a Saturday series of club races at Nemo Raceway. We're trying to link them together, make it into a bit of a championship, I think. We need to just actually get 2 minutes for all of us to sit down and work that out, because we haven't done that yet. But I know the want is there to do that. And maybe try and make some cool prizes and stuff, and do something a little bit more funky for the winter series. It'll be definitely happening on Saturdays, so that we don't clash with anybody. And I think the first one will be not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, if that works for you, Leroy, because it puts the alternative on alternative weekend to Westmill, because I believe they're racing this weekend.
We'll talk about it after. Maybe. Yeah. What do you mean, like in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, then might be semi-tough. Liz's brother and sister-in-law land that day again from Texas.
My goodness me. They fly in and out like rock stars.
I know now. Now the borders are open, it's all go, isn't it?
Now the corridor is open. Shall we see for a minute? Let's see if we can get our man BT online with us. Bear with me 1 second while I try and create a new link. I know when I just preempted it earlier on. There we go. Look at that. Should be coming. Go and get some hydration, because I think they've been having some fairly wild heat over in Texas, from what I can understand. The weather reports that Willie's been sending in.
We've had some wild heat the last 2 days.
We've had some wild something. Wild something.
Strange country we live in.
It is. Yeah, famine or feast, isn't it, at the moment? But I tell you what, we did, by and large, we dodged a bullet with the weather at the weekend, because it was looking pretty shaky for the long range. It looked pretty rubbish all the way through, actually. And it just started to give a bit of a sniff that it might be better, and it was. You know, we'll take what we got. We didn't get anybody stuck in any fields or anywhere. That
Yeah.
Oh, I've got an echo of me, which means there he is, BT. The long range is pretty rubbish.
Hang on, I need to mute this thing. I don't know how to do it.
Give a bit of a snip.
There.
It's like a radio show call-in.
Yeah, here we go. Howdy.
How you doing?
Howdy.
Are you mocking me?
Me?
A little bit.
A little bit. That's all right.
Here. How are you?
Good.
Well, where's the wine?
Where's the wine? It's 2:30, 2:45 here. There's no wine for me. Too much tractor left.
How's the track going, buddy?
Oh man, it's going. Just finishing work left to do. It's very, very dry here, so lots of fluffy crumbles to deal with, and that's, but aside from that, it's pretty much ready to get piped and run on. But we clear all that fluff and loose stuff off and try to flood it today and see how it'll all stick together.
How it goes, yeah. Well, we owe you a big thank you for your input in the raceway with jump profiles and stuff, because we had a great national. The track ran awesome.
It looked great.
Consistent. Yeah, it was cool.
Happy to help. Love doing it.
It was a shame that you weren't there to have a go on it as well, and it's
right.
You improved incarnation, because it was
it looked like it was a lot faster for sure.
Yeah, it was cool, buddy. It was really, really cool. So, talk to us about Southern Nationals, because I know we had a big race on at the weekend, and Brandon, as ever, was.
Yes, Southern Nationals, a race we typically go to every year. Unfortunately, because of the conflict with our race this weekend, I wasn't able to be there. So what I know of all what happened is pretty limited. Just check Brandon's results every once in a while. Looked like he had really, really good pace in qualifying, but unfortunately in his two best heats, he had one very, very bad lap, like to the tune of a 10 second crash or whatever happened on each of those particular laps. But the pace was very good. He ended up in the B main. He bumped out of the B, and then he started, believe it or not, it was an 18 car field for the main. and he drove up 7th.
Wow.
Which is pretty impressive in that field. And he was not the best of the rest. I think he beat some pretty, he checked the results real quick. He beat some pretty notable names. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to be incorrect before I do, but, oh, wow, there we go. Let me pull this up real quick. But yeah, it was pretty impressive drive. I've seen him do it before. You know, he definitely has the long game on lock.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the first year that the guy that normally builds the track wasn't there. So it was a nice track, but it was a little bit different than what we typically see at that race. But it looked like there was some very, very good racing over the weekend for sure. Let's see. COUTA.
I already found it.
Oh.
Man.
Well, good on you, then.
Thank you.
I'll wait for you though.
No, you can go ahead. I don't.
So pro nitro buggy. So I mean, let's read out the top 18, shall we? Why not?
Let's do it.
So Dakota took the win. Obviously, yeah. I mean, is that the first 8-scale race he's finished this year?
It's possible. Ever.
Ever. I mean, always super duper fast, but always has terrible luck. He's like the Neil Cragg right now of America.
Yeah, exactly.
Spencer Rivkin second. Good to see Spence back up there. But then Cavalieri, Mayfield, Tebow, Spencer Heckert, and then our man Brandon. And then behind Brandon, we got Joe Bornholst, Cole Ogden, Mason Fuller, Adam Drake, Lee Setzer, Tyler Hooks, Ryan Lutz, Jared Wiggins, Tyler Jones. You know, it's a bunch of guys.
So that's mega. That's mega. Was he pumped, Billy? Was he happy with everything?
Yeah, he said his car was amazing. He said it was. I mean, every time he has one of these races, he's like, "It's the best my car's ever been." So yeah, he was loving it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's good.
I wish I could have seen it, but unfortunately, I've been in the skid steer for 6 to 7 hours a day since Wednesday, trying to get this thing done.
Looking forward to seeing what creation you come up with, buddy.
Lots and lots of digging. We're on the big side of the hill, and we dug out a lot of the side of the hill to try to control erosion, so the water doesn't run down the hill anymore. And we put some bigger jumps in than we had last time. Was more of a driver's track, kind of an on-road, lots of off cambers and very swoopy and swervy. And this one is going to have a lot more straights and 90s and big jumps and that sort of thing. So
US spec.
Yeah, it's typical US spec track here. Yeah, for sure.
When are we coming to run on it?
When are you coming to run on it? Let's go. Come on.
Well, I tell you what, we've got something that we need to get running on a multitude of tracks. So there's a pretty good reason to head on over to you and start the moves.
Let's go. We've got a multitude of tracks nearby that we can run it on. So it'll be a good time. Just be good.
That would be pretty cool. So when does the race start? The RC Pro Series, is it this Friday?
Friday's practice, and then quals on Saturday and mains on Sunday.
Okay, and did we manage to get Brandon coming out to that, or what's the...
I'm honestly, because of the Southern Nationals this past weekend, I'm not sure what everybody's travel schedule is like. Having just traveled for a race, it's sort of an unfortunate scheduling for us, but I understand, like, there's only so many weekends in the year that we can try to make anything happen. So we just had to kind of go with it.
Yeah, man. Are you racing yourself? Are you going to dominate
No, I will not be racing. I will be on patrol, so to speak, for the weekend.
No, I know that feeling. You need Mr. Mark Jones, because he could then mechanic your car.
Yeah, and send him over.
Yeah, exactly.
Love to have it.
We'll do a lastminute.com. That sounds cool, dude. Okay, buddy. Well, I'm gonna cut you loose. Try and get rumbling. We want to have a fairly short show tonight because we're still all fairly ruined. But it's absolutely awesome to have you online. Like to do this regularly and keep up to date with what's going on. So yeah, keep us updated over the weekend.
Will do.
We miss you. Come back. Your room
I miss you guys too. It was a great trip. We'll see you
Love you,
soon.
man. Take care. We'll see you
Bye.
soon.
Love you too.
Cheers, Bill. There we go. Bill is out.
Such a legend. Such a legend. Bill is out. Yeah, cool. That's cool. That's good to see Billy and get an update with what's going on there. And we'll try and get some coverage of the RC Pro Series as well. See what's going on. I know that's probably one of the biggest races that have hosted as such. And the fact that he looks after there, so I'm sure, like you and I know, Leroy, that's going to be exciting times with all of the pressures that come along with that. So. Yeah, there we go. Right, well, let's head into our national review now then. Obviously, we finished off the Nitro National Series this weekend. Absolute privilege to do that. Unfortunately, with Slough pulling out for this year, although hopefully we can get back there soon, we had the opportunity to do that race, as most of you will be watching this will know. And yeah, it was 3 weeks of, it literally was 3 weeks of hard work to get that into the position it was. Super proud of what everybody did. We're lucky, Leroy, to have some super talented people around that can come and help us and actually make that work. You know, Mr. Talbot again coming to the rescue on a multitude of things, and yeah, it's a good job. It's a good job we've got friends that have got talent. That's all I know. Otherwise, we would be high right.
Agreed.
And as for a race itself, we had a bit of a drop of a rain, which kept throwing up a spanner, or threw up a spanner in a couple of the qualifying rounds for a few people. But by and large, was very good. I think he qualified second. I think he went into the last round on the Sunday morning with a possibility to TQ. TQ went to
Neil Craig.
Mr. Craig, Mr. Unlucky.
We didn't really get a good shot at it because well, it rained for the last two of our rounds. So
it did. That is true. Got the
but he drove awesome once again.
He did. I think he's driving in 8 scale. I think he's driving the best I've seen him drive an 8 scale. He's got that smoothness that's always there, but there's a drop more aggression than I've seen in. I mean, I don't know. I've been racing 8 scale with him for early 2000s, so it's a long time. And yeah, very impressive. But his year this year has just been sucky, hasn't it? Of all of the people that could claim sucky years, he's got to be the one that can claim it the most.
Yeah, he's definitely he trumped me on the sucky finishes of the year.
It was a close race between the two of you. I know you two are always racing each other in any championship you are, and I'm glad to see that you beat him by 1 place in the who's had the suckiest year. He was slightly more sucky than you.
He was slightly suckier.
So anyway, took the TQ again, which was really good. There was the pace at the top was awesome. It was awesome to watch the top few heats. Obviously, I flagged most of them. I've raced in one of them, but it was really good to see the track churning out lap times that we'd not seen before. It obviously made it a little bit quicker, and it was a little bit shorter in a couple of places too. Like on the banking, the apex was a little bit closer. So we were expecting to see fast times, and we got them. And then the final is the weirdest final that I've ever seen, I think. Well, not ever seen, but it's definitely up there. Every time I sort of looked away to do something else, I looked back, there was another one of you that had broken down. It was almost comical.
Yeah. It was very strange. Like I was talking to Darren at one point after everything had happened, and Darren had like a lap lead. We were like, what has actually happened in the past 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Everything went off in a very short period of time.
It really did, because it was so close between probably 5 or 6 of you, and you know, you guys are broken away. Darren was one of those as well. You were having a good race with Darren for quite a period of time. And it literally was within a 10-minute period. There was, Darren was suddenly a lap up. It's like, what happened? But firstly, massive congratulations to Darren. I'm really happy for him. Back into racing this year. Obviously, another ex-Nemo guy, but has managed to keep that smile on all the way through that. And yeah, really good to see him back up the top and taking a win. And you could see almost in that final, he found another gear again. Like the old Darren, I could see was coming through. So big congratulations to him. Elliot managed to take the second, which, I think he would probably take that from where he was at various points over the weekend. I know he wasn't particularly loving the oiled tracks that we now have almost exclusively in the UK. We're struggling a little bit with that. and then James Lepreveau rounded out the podium, which I think is the first time he's been on a podium at a national. So another big congratulations to him. It was I guess it was a refreshingly different, apart from Elliot, podium in the end of the day.
Yeah. It was a mad one. It was like, I actually had no idea who finished third until I finished and looked. I was like, I can't even fathom in my brain who's inherited third at this point.
Well,
yeah,
that is because, Mr. Martin, you didn't come in for fuel.
Well, yeah, that is a problem.
That is a problem. They don't last forever without fuel.
Oh, that is a problem. So, yeah.
Where did you end up? Fifth, sixth? You were driving nicely at the end and cruising through back with the halls, and it was ebbing and flowing as to where you were going to finish up. That was quite cool to watch that bit.
Yeah, I think I got sixth in the end, and I caught Jamie right on the last lap for position for fifth, and I tried a bit hard through the Stevie B's and then just tipped over.
I was watching intently, my laser beam looking at it, but it was cool. Rounded out the season. I don't know what else to say about the national. How was it for you? Did you feel any different pressure and stuff with it being your home national and your place, your castle as such?
I don't think it was a different pressure. It's they're all pressure, especially with like oil tracks and stuff. Like anyone whose home track's Hearts, you come to a national and it's actually a different track to what you're used to, because it's been prep different oil, different weather, whatever. You know your way around, but a lot of other people do too. So there wasn't really pressure from that. I wanted to win, obviously. I always want to win every race. A shame that I didn't, or run out of fuel. I probably wouldn't have caught Darren, honestly. He was driving awesome. But second place was right there after everyone had their dramas. But then I was one of them people too. So
that is true.
But yeah, I mean, I was disappointed, obviously, but I was super happy that it was an exciting race and everyone was pumped about the track, and the car was working well, the tyres were working well, engine was working well. Everything worked apart from my hearing.
Yeah, well, and that's fair enough. And I have to say, one of my favourite things about yourself and working with you over the last few years is when it goes wrong, you absolutely are a pleasure to still be around, which is rare. That is definitely a compliment, because lots of the others are not that way when it doesn't work out for them, and that's racing. It goes wrong many more times than it goes right, and the show that, I think, for most people. So
I think it's experience of failing.
Yes, you get good at it. You get good at that feeling.
Yeah. After time, you just learn to accept that. Don't worry, in a week's time you can have another go.
We can dominate the disappointing feeling. We've got that one absolutely down. It's actually, you raised a point earlier, which was, for me, it's interesting how, trying to build these tracks and stuff, is the oil tracks, they do something different almost every time. It's so odd. And even, like the track this time had everything done exactly the same. And yet in some patches, it was different than others. It's such a black art trying to work out what, when it does what it does, the bits that you want it to do and the bits that you don't want it to do. It's like a lottery. Bizarre.
Yeah, definitely. And smoothing everything out and doing all the prep work we did to make it better for everyone else takes away that kind of home advantage of the difficult bits. We didn't have like the difficult double that you needed to go on the right line, and the bank corner you needed to be like very precise on and stuff like that. It wasn't easy because it's always difficult to go fast, but it was a little less knowledgeable, shall we say.
Definitely different. It was like you said, the layout, but then past that you have to start again with where you're at, and hopefully some of the people that say about, you've got to have 1 million laps around here, all that sort of stuff, you see that you actually don't, because when you come to these big races, it's like going to Slough back in the day. You could go and do 20 club meetings at Slough, but you knew for the national it would have just a complete reset, and you start again. It's fresh, and I think that's cool, because it does level the playing field. Although sometimes it'd be nice to have a bit of an advantage. At the end of the day, we're here for the show, so the track is here for the show. Like we've said so many times before, it's for everybody. It's not a Nemo thing. It's for everyone. So yeah, All good. Good national from my side. Mr. Rumble was excellent as ever, making sure it worked okay. I think we worked well with the BRCA. We obviously had some issues that we had to be mindful of, which I think worked out fine, and our referee Mark was good to work with. So yeah, it was a good national. Lots going on, and then obviously for us, we decided to throw a I don't know what the expression is, mentalness probably, but to run a concept car as well. Just in the process of all of that, we just throw that out there. What's the worst that could happen? But we're just too excited. That's the problem with us. We're too into it, I guess, sometimes. But that was absolutely mega to do that and have the opportunity to do that. Full laydown car. Lots more news to follow on that. Not tonight, but other times. Obviously, with the track, we've said so many times over this last year that it gives us the opportunity to just try things and see things and look at every avenue that's out there, and it's been awesome. I don't normally do, I said to you earlier, didn't I don't normally do Facebook, but I had a little wander around it earlier on to see what the comments were, ranging from people that were super excited to see what we were trying to do, what we're up to all the naysayers out there that seem to be the geometry experts of the universe as to why things won't work, or how it was done in 1833 with something that looks like an armadillo. It's awesome to see. I love it all, really. So yeah, there's going to be lots more to follow on that. But what an exciting project that we're embarking on, Leroy.
Yeah, definitely. It's something new. It's a passion of ours. It's awesome, and I love reading some people's comments, and I'm like, dude, you can't even tell if it goes left or right. Like, how do you even know?
you actually haven't seen it yet, so you've got no idea what's going on underneath the body.
Yeah, it's very, very funny. But I'm super excited. Like, a lot more testing is going to happen over the next few months. It's still early. It's still in its infancy, but we felt even now it was up to a point where it could do well, and you proved, one spot and one very, very few laps off of making the main event. Its first ever go. So
which into context with a car that's 3D printed with all the carbon work by us, I think is something that's pretty amazing. So like you say, it's the beginning of the road that you know what, if we didn't think it was an interesting road, we wouldn't even be looking at it, because between us there's a fair few years of motorsport and scale motorsports knowledge around. So we're pretty convinced that it's a good direction to go. Otherwise we wouldn't have done what we did at the weekend.
Yeah, and I mean, you just got to look at different classes. At some point, certain designs reach their ceiling, margin or whatever, so reach their ceiling point, and then you need to look outside the box for something new. And if we hadn't done that in temp scale them years ago, we'd still be running rear motor cars and going around a lot slower than what we are now. I
mean, definitely it's had that thing, like you say, where the new norm comes along, doesn't it? And we're not trying to claim that by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely something that needs a good investigation. That's what we're up to. I've just sent our partner in crime a link. I think he's available for a quick catch up. He is. Something in my house is going wrong. I don't know whether it's coming across on the audio, but something is definitely about to expire. I don't know what it is. Sounds like I'm going to blow up. Mr. Rumble?
How are we doing? Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, good night, good morning. Good morning to those watching from afar.
You're looking fresh. You had a that noise has stopped. That's good. You had a shave tonight or something? You look different.
No, I had a shave yesterday morning, but I've got to be considerate of the fact that my facial hair grows so quickly that I want to make sure you recognised me still.
When you say quickly, so first of all, thank you very much for the national and everything you did.
No, thank you. Thank you to everyone that made it happen.
Yeah, definitely. It was an exciting thing, a stressful thing, and I'm glad that it's actually done. But it was good still.
For me, the best moment of the whole weekend was actually, I think, at about 10:30 Saturday morning, because obviously I know various challenges or whatever beyond that point, but at that point it's out of our hands, and it's it's over to the masters per se, and yeah, that was it. It's done now. We're not changing it. So yeah, that was it. That was a good time.
Let's hope we get to have another go. My best point was at the end of Sunday when the last vehicle, apart from ours, had left the track, and you knew that job done. No one's stuck. We haven't had a monsoon that we've had to deal with, and all those other things that were racking in my brain. Didn't transpire. That was a good feeling. So let's go straight into question time. I've got some from the team, and if you are watching online and you have any questions, please fire them in now. Leroy will see them and read them out. I did see one come in, which was from Talking Dirty Ant Ross, and he said count him in for a French tour. So he is counted in. That could be a messy tour of France.
Wine.
Of wine, exactly. Haircut of the weekend. Who had the haircut of the weekend?
Charlie Locke.
Rumble?
Charlie Locke. Agreed. No, Charlie Locke. He gets the ticket.
Michael Shorey. Michael Shorey.
Shorey definitely needed a haircut.
He had some good. It was all there. He had some pork chops going on. So Mikey Shorey
did. The pork chops. The pork chops were wicked. Like we definitely pointed that out early on Saturday.
You did. You pointed it out. So he's correct. Who ate the most burgers? We need Mr. Truman for that. He'd tell us.
I definitely ordered the most burgers. I was the ordering.
You were. I actually think you probably ate the most burgers, because I'd see Mrs. Truman walk up with 2 or 3 of the hugest double, triple burgers that I've ever seen, looking for you. So I'm going to go with Rumble.
Yeah, I'll second the Rumble.
I'll take that. I'll take that crown in this occasion.
Exactly. The last funny one of these was John's average blood pressure, which was pretty high. I wouldn't have wanted to have seen it. I actually made sure my watch was flat so that it didn't give me any alerts, because I thought there'd probably be some along the way. Next one.
Yeah.
Seriously though, for those of us that were not there, what was the weather changes like for both the track and the drivers? So what did we do to mitigate the different conditions that you had to race in? Did you change much, Leroy? Just before we get there.
No.
But just before I answer that, Johnny Skidmore's asking for his trophy again, before I dismiss it off the screen.
Oh, Johnny, it was there at the. Well, the thing is, you said you weren't coming, so I didn't bother making it for you. But don't panic; it's on the job for this week.
What did you change for the wet weather, Mr. Martin?
So due to the track, probably not for me. It was going to dry out, so I didn't actually change much, because anything I would have changed, it would have been counterproductive, because I knew hoped for the finals that it was going to be dry. So all I did was whip the roll bars off. I actually just took the one off the front, chucked wet weather tires on there, and hope for the best. So I didn't change too much. If it was actually going to stay wet, we would have lowered the diffs. We would have softened all the shocks off, softened all the roll bars off. Probably not used one on the front, but used a softer one on the rear, and rolled with that. Soften everything off, basically.
Yep, all good advice there. So individually, for the two of you, what was the highlight and low light of the whole weekend?
My highlight was being able to spend another weekend with Suzanne in race control. That was my highlight.
That's a nice highlight. What was your low light?
And my low light was I don't really know. Well, my low light was actually probably one of Gareth Harold's photography snaps of me looking like a floating dancer across the track when I was wearing my shoes out in the main final. So that was probably my low light, but quite amusing to have it immortalised.
Nice, good old Gareth. We can rely on Gareth to catch the pictures. Leroy, what was your highlight and low light?
So my highlight was actually the concept car, and before it had been used on the track, because I love all of the. I had people come over to me in the morning. I've heard you've got a new car. I've heard you've got this special car. I'm like, well, I don't know what you're on about. And then to having it under a towel and people being like, what's under there? And then finally putting on a track and like seeing everyone watch it and then say how good it looked like straight off the bat. So yeah, that was my highlight really. Just playing a fiddle to that, and it's been a dream of ours for a substantial amount of time now. So.
Yeah, exactly. We've had many conversations about all these things. So, what was your low light?
Me not hearing Rumble shout and running out of fuel.
Did he do a manly shout, or did he do his John Hazelwood fuel one?
No, I normally hear him super clear, and I think because there was quite a lot of stuff happening at that time. It was about the time everyone was failing out, and there was a lot of stuff going on. And the first thing that I heard was feather the throttle, take it easy. And at that point, I looked down. I'm like, I've missed the stop.
Nice.
It was at that point in pit lane. I was like, my mum actually said to me, she said, I thought there was a big problem. She said, because I could hear you shouting and screaming in pit lane like an animal. I said, no, I wasn't shouting and screaming. I was just letting Lee know that if it's possible for him to use 5% throttle to make this lap, that would be great. However, I'm
literally said it
doing my warm-ups.
All right, cool. And I backed off the throttle and it went burp, 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 burp. I was like,
oh no.
And that was that.
Mr. Mark Jones, using his eagle eyes, says on one of my crashes, he said that the tank might have opened slightly when being marshalled, but I'm not sure. I didn't see it, but
it was wet.
Yeah, that was my disappointment.
Because I think because initially my initial thought the moment you went past pit lane was just stop the car. I'll run out and retrieve it, and we'll not get too much of the lap underway, and I'll go grab it. And I thought, well, the stop was obviously we were doing 7.5s. Like, oh god, John's.
I've got a suggestion. Shall we make a pact to use headsets?
Yes.
Right. Yes. I'll make that pact. I'll make that pact with you right here and right now. That I will stick some dirty headset on my head.
I'm there. Pact made.
Teddy, you're in.
Well, we might have some nice new smart tech ones at some point, hopefully.
Are they smart?
Well, they're only as smart as the operator, so probably remarkably thick.
No, in my luck, they'll go flat.
You'll have to charge them, because that'll be the next thing, won't it? It's like, they're not charged.
USB-C charger, though, John, which will bring a tear to your eye.
That does bring a tear to my eye. So, next question. What did you learn from running a national? What would you improve on, and what would you stop doing? Mr. Martin.
I would wear a headset.
Yes. Yeah.
What would I improve on? I would. I don't know. What would I improve on? I'd see if I could get an operation for a new back, so that it didn't hurt so much when I hoovered the AstroTurf.
You did hoover extensively, to be fair. You did a good.
It hurt, and I still wasn't happy. There's still stones on.
I know.
I think we all did a good job. I don't think we should say we'll improve on anything, because I don't think that's how it works. I think we all did a very fantastic job on making a great track. We can't control the weather, and I think that was the only downer.
Yeah. Mr. Rumble, concisely.
Yeah. No, agreed. I didn't think there was anything more we could have done prep wise. I think we tried everything we possibly could with all of our restrictions that we have in place to make everyone informed. I think hopefully DXR found it quite enjoyable working with us, and hopefully quite easy going. And then same for Kevin and Suzanne and Mark in race control. I think it was a pretty slick operation. So I don't know what to do more than that, aside doing some weather magic. I don't know, but aside that, it was a really positive weekend, and it was a little, that would fix it. However,
it would fix it, wouldn't it? Why did only 5 or 6 cars finish the main
round finale of the national? That's how it goes.
Yeah. I have no idea. Like, it was madness. I don't know.
Yeah, it was madness.
It was just one of those races where
that's just the way it was.
Like, I don't know what happened to Johnny and Will. Does anyone know? I mean, Johnny's watching. I don't know if you can disclose what happened, but what happened to you both?
A drive shaft broke for Johnny, and a clutch bell bearing broke or fell off for Will, I believe.
Okay, and Neil broke a clutch.
Did he?
Yeah. And then I ran out of fuel. Who else didn't finish, or what happened?
I think Mike Lewis had maybe a plug or something like that. It wasn't I don't think it was out of fuel, but I think Mike Lewis may have been a plug. I think trying to think who else actually stopped in that final.
It was 8 cars, wasn't it?
What should we just actually say who didn't stop? That may actually be an easier exercise. If you like. Well, Darren did okay. Elliot did okay.
No idea why. It was just one of those races, wasn't it, where for multiple people.
And I think high grip and high intensity will always create a little bit more failure, in my opinion. Because everyone was fully on it and fully gassed. The car also has a limit.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. On that point, actually, with our concept car, bearing in mind that has 3D printed gearbox casings and all that sort of stuff, because it is so radically different, it's unbelievable that managed to do two finals and a whole host of running on Monday with not a murmur. It's just incredible what technology is letting us do, how quickly we can prototype stuff and test stuff. It's amazing.
Unreal.
Came to my mind.
There will be a point where there is no more molding of parts, I'm sure.
Yeah, it can't be.
I have no doubt.
Yeah, can't be a million miles away from that. So, any other tracks in the UK you guys would like to see added to the national calendar other than Slough? So for me, Slough would have been the one. And if they were, how many rounds would it be? So I think, for me, I'll quickly come in on this one. I think 5 rounds is good. We used to have 12 rounds in our national series, then it went to 10, then it went to 8, then it went to 6, and it's currently 5. So I think 5 is the maximum to be able to then do other things as well and have other nice races to go and do. But I would like to see Slough back on the calendar.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, so for me, I'd like to see Slough, but I'll tell you what, a track I would like to see on the calendar. South Coast.
I knew you were going to say that, and I agree. I like it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we did, when we did have the Astro round of Deerdale and then of Endor, it did add a sort of another element of, obviously some people don't like AstroTurf, but it's good racing, it's fast racing, and it's quite guaranteed racing, and it means you can sort of like, if you do have it as the first round, you've got a much higher chance of having a less impact of the weather. It makes sense. South Coast is an awesome track, really, really good. They've got the space. That would be cool. Another track on from South Coast for me is in a way Kent, because it's a shame to see it, sort of quite unsupported in some ways. And I think when you are off the national calendar, your track does lose some of its relevance, and that's obviously been the case for Kent. So it would be nice to see them sort of have a reason to get back, really get back going strong with a good following, etc.
You just like the night out in Kent. It's got absolutely nothing to do with anything else. And
John, that was correct.
Past that, I think South Coast would be cool. The track's cool, and they've got an awesome pub at the top that has Chateau Neuf de Pape on order as well, or you can order it. So we're there. I'll second it, Leroy.
Mint.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Right. Okay. Next one is this was from Roscoe, just saying, how did it feel to see the idea from all of us evolve from what it was, walking through the gate when we built the track initially, and then the uncertainty that we had with COVID and what was going on, and then to finally have a national and have it in the books, and have we stopped and thought about it at all? Which is a cool question. What a whirlwind period. I didn't think we'd be sat here a year and a bit into opening the track, having had a national. I guess somewhere inside that must have been the aim, or we want to try and do all of the big races there, to be fair. We're definitely not trying to stop at national level. I think we've got aspirations to do all of the big races that you can do, and you have to build up to that. That's something you have to earn the right to be able to do those things. But yeah, for me, I haven't really stopped to think about it. You guys, have you thought about that journey of the last 14 months or so? I mean, we wouldn't have been in this journey without Roscoe anyway. He did so much of the fabrication for us to actually get the place open in the first place. So a big thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Leroy, what do you think? We've had a first national. We've had 2 nationals now. The
2 nationals.
Yeah.
For me, that was kind of a natural progression. I think it was awesome when we got unlucky for Slough, obviously, because change and stuff. But it was awesome when we got a national, and I think, yeah, wicked. But now I'm just looking at bigger things. I'm like, well, now hopefully when COVID sorts itself out a bit more, it's internationals and moving on. So yeah, for me, I love it. I think it's awesome about a national, but that's a natural progression for me into moving forward to big international races, hopefully for next year.
Yep,
for sure.
Mr. Rumble.
Yeah, ease in with a Euro Bs or a Euros 40 plus, because I know that's how I understand that's how the structure works. That the host venues are to run a Euros B event or a plus 40 event before then applying for a Euro A or beyond. So yeah, either of those would be amazing. Except obviously there are some that so we haven't gone to Australia for Euro Bs quite yet. But that would be amazing. That would be good.
I see.
It's a good running picture.
It is. I threw up your running picture, Mr. Rumble. It looks like you're running to the techno tent to probably go and get some rims where they were helping us out. So shout out to Mr. Brilliant.
I know, it's funny. Ben Johnson sent me the picture over and said, he said, "Are you flying, Rumble?" He said, "I didn't know you were able to fly." I said, "Yeah, no." I said, evidently I can. It's immortalized right there.
Wacko Jacko's got nothing on you, is he? Well, he's dead, so he hasn't got anything on you, but that's the sort of stuff.
I reckon Rumble stayed at Neverland.
I think you might be right, and I wouldn't want to know what went on.
Oh, Bubbles.
Indeed, and I'm fairly sure.
Yeah,
Bubbles
the monkey
liked whatever went on at Netherland. There would be no documentary.
100%. Imagine how much fun it would have been.
Yeah.
Oh, don't go near him, Eddie. Don't go near him.
Oh, dear. Moving into dangerous waters, I fear. Okay, so I've got a couple more, and then I'm going to be
next.
Question for tonight: has Mark recovered from his scaffolding pictures or scaffolding escapades from the weekend? There were some nice pictures I saw of the scaffolding tower.
Awful. Absolutely terrifying. Mike didn't make that much better. As the fact he was shaking it. He was doing like one of those classic, oh, this is the coaster, and I'm pretty sure I was going to vomit up on approximately 2 meters above the ground like a complete woof. But never mind.
Good times. I like it. Last one for me, Paul. Should people accept if it rains, it's not directed or influenced by the BRCA before moaning about it? It's a fair comment. And yes, I think people should just accept that it is what it is. There's not much any of us can do about our pesky weather that we have.
And within reason, you're all on the same track. You know, I know some people may get an advantage, but it all works out in the end. Let's be real. You know, it does all evens itself out, doesn't it?
Yeah, the people that should win definitely do normally win. That's kind of how it works. That's me all caught up. So it's going to be over to Leroy for anything from the side as we've come to an hour. Anything?
Yeah, there's Mikey Shorey says that Talbot ate most of the burgers. Neil Kapoor, Neil, he said, what happened to me? But we've explained that. And he said, I heard you're launching a new buggy. Well, it's not a new buggy yet. It's still a concept. It's just a concept that we're showing to people in some way.
Yes.
Stevie Spencer says he's joined in, and Kev finished. It was 8 people that finished, and Jonesy Cram said Kev was awesome this weekend, just unlucky again. And then we've got Max said, Ciao, de Max d'Italia, de Trevisio.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao,
ciao.
We need to get to Italy for a race.
That is a full frontal.
I was gone. It was obviously I realised with the advent of technology, people can stop and look at that for a little bit further. But yes, there was a slight front nude of the concept car.
Anyone on there could have paused that then and designed their own car.
Exactly, and get on. Go on, buddy. You go.
He said, "Evening, lads. Still cleaning my flaming car. So we're sorry about that."
Yes, we are sorry about that.
Yeah.
Poor old.
But there we go. We're all caught up, and yeah, awesome.
He'll live.
What Chris should have done, he should have stuck to his gamma, and then he would have been in a higher final, and then he wouldn't have had to deal with the slightly lower final rain issue, and then in which case his car would still be clean and ready to go.
There you go.
You took the words out of my mouth, John.
Yes, you live and learn. We need to do a race in Italy, boys. We've got over IC is back on the back on the list potentially. What do we think about? Would that be a good thing to be going and doing? A bit of a
man.
Italian
We need
job?
some carbonara.
Yeah.
We do need. Rumble needs.
Yes, carbonara. Yes, please.
That bombshell. Should we end it?
Yes, because we're over an hour. We've got a long day ahead of testing tomorrow. Rumble, get your shock oil out.
Definitely.
I've got my gloves. I've got my gloves at the ready.
I've actually managed to do an hour without needing to go to the toilet as well, which is that's a win. I'm going to take that as a win, actually. To be
bloody
fair.
hell, John.
I'm gonna take that as
quit whilst you're ahead.
You still might have gone to the toilet, but you haven't moved.
I'm going to take that as tenor pads.
He just doesn't know it's happened yet.
Leroy, sign us out. Let's go.
Yeah,
we're going out, people. Thank you for watching. We hope you all enjoyed the show. We hope you enjoyed the weekend. We hope you enjoyed everything. Remember, Nemo Racing is not just for us, it's for you too. So please come along, book a day. I mean, even go out and buy an Gamma A319, A319P, A319EP, A319E, or A215T, and you'll get a free membership for 12 months anyway. So, yeah, just do that. I mean, I would. I mean, if you're crazy if you don't, honestly. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And you can see all of our free, beautiful faces every day you want to log on and click on our videos. So there we go.
We'll do it again very soon.
Yes.
Marvelous.
All right, guys.
Over and out.